Okay. Right, we're back. A short 24 hours, a scant 24 hours after the last one. Welcome back to the Ox and the Rat. I'm the Ox.
And I'm the Rat.
Right, so we had a little snafu there earlier, so we've lost some time. Time that both of us don't really have a lot of, so no need to catch up anyways, right? I mean, it's only been 24 hours since the last one.
It's true.
What do you say we jump right in here?
Let's do it.
All right. So this one is called The Sheep and the Pig. One day, a shepherd discovered a fat pig in the meadow where his sheep were pastured. He very quickly captured the porker, which squealed at the top of its voice the moment the shepherd laid his hands on it. You would have thought, to hear the loud squealing, that the pig was being cruelly hurt. But in spite of its squeals and struggles to escape, the shepherd tucked his prize under his arm and started off to the butcher's in the marketplace. The sheep in the pasture were much astonished and amused at the pig's behavior, and followed the shepherd and his charge to the pasture gate. "What makes you squeal like that?" asked one of the sheep. "The shepherd often catches and carries off one of us, but we should feel very much ashamed to make such a terrible fuss about it like you do." "That is all very well," replied the pig, with a squeal and a frantic kick. "When he catches you, he is only after your wool, but he wants my bacon." Gree! Not sure if I got that sound effect right, but let's say GREE-EE-EE. Gree!
Greedy.
Right. Yeah, maybe. Anyways, what do you think? I'm almost certain you're not going to catch this one, but I'm interested to see what you have to say. What do you think the moral of this fable is?
Ooh, I was just listening to the story there. The moral of the story is all of us have a purpose. Some good, some bad.
Right, because the pig becomes bacon. The sheep become wool, right?
Yep. So they're lucky.
Yeah. You gotta keep going on that thread. Pull on that thread a little bit more. The lucky.
Lucky. Maybe something about what is that stupid saying? The ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, somewhere close to. Getting better. Well, it is easy to be brave when there is no danger. Yeah, I like this one. You get that? It is easy to be brave when there is no danger. Goes back to that those last few sentences.
Yep. You can puff up your chest when you got your posse behind you.
Sort of. So that is all very well, replied the pig. So before that, the shepherd often catches and carries off one of us, but we should feel very much ashamed to make such a terrible fuss about it like you do. That's all very well, replied the pig with a squeal and a frantic kick. When he catches you, he is only after your wool, but he wants my bacon. You get that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I meant that, the guy can puff up his chest because there is no real danger because he's got all of his buddies behind him or whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, the key, right, is the stakes involved, right? It's like, oh no, shepherd's carried one of us off and he's going to take my hair. And then the pig's like, okay, yeah, he took me in and he's going to kill me and eat me. It's a big difference. We're saying it is easy to be brave when there is no danger, right?
Yeah. But I'm saying, somebody who's got a bunch of backup, it's easy for that person to be brave when they have a bunch of help behind them, kind of thing.
Well, that's true too. So I think, when thinking, is this applicable? Is it true? As a former teacher, people are always saying, I guess, I don't know if we call it bravery, but people are always going like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do this. Why don't you just, so it's a classic one. Why don't you just do this? It's like, we can't do that without your help. If you're the parents, you have a freaking responsibility here. It's pretty astonishing the degree to which parents seem to have abdicated their responsibilities. There are reasons for it, right? You got two parents working, it's a bit more challenging, but yeah, it's all on you. Why don't you do it? It's like, oh, you come here and you do this job because you've actually abdicated that job and given it to me. So why would you tell me how I'm supposed to do something? Right? Not only something I'm trained to do, but also something that you've said that you're too busy to do, right? Like discipline, for example.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's always an annoyance as a teacher.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think of mine. Well, we'd have to think of it as, we're safe, I guess, in most cases. There's not a lot. We could think of that as where we come from, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot easier going out, trying things, doing things. We know we kind of have like maybe a safety net behind us, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, different situations wherever you are in the world. I mean, it's easy to be brave. Think like personally, I like the last episode we talked about like how I'm like actions speak louder than words. So there's not a lot of examples in my own life where I'm like saying things that I wouldn't do. Yeah, and where there's no danger. So I think that might apply to other people a little bit more. I don't know. What's a good example? There's like something on the tip of my tongue when I'm thinking about like society or government or something. Complaints that people have about everything. Here's a good one. It's going to be very controversial, but that's what I am apparently. We could talk about the COVID response, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this bravery where there's no danger at all. Like I don't know if this is going to hit the mark, but it seems to me that there has been a complete loss. I think we'll all look back on this time, depending on where you are, to varying degrees of this question. Like that, this was one of the worst examples of human behavior in history. The way we reacted to this, the way we continue to. So they're saying we're being threatened right now in Ontario by our government saying, "Don't you dare, celebrate Easter, or we'll lock things. I'm not afraid to lock things down." It's like, oh yeah. Like real tough, buddy. Like, thanks for making things worse, And it's like fourth wave, fifth wave, sixth wave. And it's like, there's no situation where there's no danger. That doesn't exist. You take risks the moment you wake up. That's the way life is. And I think we've become so risk averse. And this is a part of it. It's just like the icing on the cake, right? Where everybody's like, I'm just going to stay inside. I'm just going to stay inside, and then I'm going to like shout from the rooftops like how awful everybody is, like, oh, how dare you do this? How dare you do that? And it's like, man, not everybody's in your situation, and not everybody just takes the word of government just, at face value. So like, yeah, you're so brave by, wearing 10 masks and, oh yeah, like, not everybody can do that. Not everybody can pay a tutor to come in, not to teach their kids. Some people are single parents, I'm going back to education again. We've lost all sense of context, and everybody is like virtue signaling how amazing they are by following all of the rules. And let's face it, not all of these rules are based in science. And moreover, more importantly, not all of these rules actually can be followed by everybody, right? It is a bit of a, like, I don't want to say, it's not white privilege, but I hate that term, but it's like
class privilege.
Yeah, in a way, to say like, oh, just follow all the rules and everything will be fine. You'll work from home and like, it's not that bad. It's like, not everybody can fucking do that. And a lot of people have lost their jobs because of these decisions that are made by people who don't need to worry about losing their fucking jobs. It really pisses me off, you know, and to watch our premier up there, like he's like 400 pounds. I'm sorry, I'm not like, if you think this is fat shaming, like the guy is unhealthy and he's telling us what health is. Like, I don't understand that at all. That it's just like, it's in a lot of ways, it is the height of hypocrisy. And of course, what is he worried about? Staying home. Don't you dare have any fun. Like, don't you dare take any risk at all. You know, like, you're not risking anything, bro. Like, it's not everybody together. It isn't. And I think that's something that we all need to drop. It's a nice thing to, you know, put on a placard or like, you know, to say, it's like a nice motto, but it's not true. We're not all in this together. We aren't. And if you think that Doug Ford is the same as a single mother with who has to work in a hospital, who has a child at home that she can barely afford she can't afford to bring a tutor in to help out. And if you haven't seen the quality of online education, at least in this province, well, I'm sorry, you don't know what the hell's going on, man. And yeah, you're not brave. You're just telling other people what to do. Bam, mic drop. I can't drop the mic because it's on boom, but you know.
Yeah. Well, it was perhaps a good idea early on. I mean, you could see that it's already failed. You're just kind of you're like putting a Band-Aid on in a lot of ways. Like if it was kind of done properly, everybody maybe did what they asked at the very beginning, perhaps. I don't know for how long it would have had to been. If we could have sacrificed a month, I don't know if everybody could. Obviously, you know, those people that work at the grocery store and all that can't.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, there are some countries that were able to get rid of the majority of cases, I guess. New Zealand,
Islands,
China.
Yeah, China's a bit of an outlier, and I don't know that the extent to which I'd agree with all the data, but they have that power. That's true. Just lock it down when they need to. But yeah, like when the point that you just raised right there just show how it was never possible. It was never possible. If anybody ever had to be in contact with other human beings at any point, then the whole system would never have worked. It's not possible to lock people down for a month because people need to eat, they need to move, services need to work. Unless everything's being run by robots and AI, that's impossible. So that's a failed strategy to begin with. And again, let's bring it back to what we know. 80% of the cases have comorbidities, right? And that's unfortunate. But some of it has to do with personal choice. And this is just making it worse, right? Obesity, diabetes. For those of you born with diabetes, that's awful and that's not your fault. But that's the reality. It's not it. And nobody ever in government talks about, okay, let's all get the vaccine and perhaps let's be brave enough to have the courage to talk about the health crisis that's underlying this. If you had 80%, think about this, 100% are all the cases, right? So 80% of those cases with serious complications, and that's all we really care about, right? If you have 100 cases and only 2 of them are serious enough to require hospitalization, then who the hell cares about the other positives? It really doesn't matter, right? It's like saying like, oh, apparently you had the flu. Oh, I never noticed. That doesn't really matter. So those numbers are squirrely to begin with. But like, if 80% of the serious cases are related to this other set of comorbidities, what's the real crisis? Is the real crisis that there is a new flu variant? Or is the real problem that we're sick, we're unhealthy to begin with? Do you know what I mean? I mean, nobody's talking about 80% of the cases. So the only thing apparently that matters are the 20% that we cannot explain. That sounds crazy to me. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah. I guess you'd have to look at like the most fit, if there's such a thing, country.
Yeah, and
I don't know
look
if there is anymore, but
look where the majority are happening, in the world's most obese country, United States.
Because like say where the blue zone diets are, or whatever, the most octogenarians, are people dying at the same rate there? That'd be interesting to see.
Would be
with the same infection rates and all that.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I will say that the blue zones are horseshit in part, as long as if we're qualifying blue zones according to the vegan narrative that they only eat, vegetables and stuff. It's a complete lie. It's been proven over and over again. But
because I think that, at least the ones that I don't know if maybe there's a different name for them or whatever, but in Okinawa and different places,
seafood,
where they have, it's seafood. And
that's not the same.
I'm not saying it's vegetarian. I'm saying it's just their diet is fresh seafood and fresh vegetables, blah, blah, blah. But I'm wondering if those areas or specific areas where maybe people are in better shape or whatever, that they are handling it better. Because, I mean, Italy is supposed to be one of those places.
Oh, no. Parts of Italy. Only a few parts of Italy.
Sicily, maybe, or I don't know. Some places, but where it got hit was in the north, so it's not really near, per se, the ocean. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. COVID-19 cases nationwide. Cumulative cases in Japan. I don't see Okinawa Prefecture. God,
but then that's also different too, because obviously it's an island, so you gotta bring the disease there. Might be easier to prevent it. I don't know.
Okinawa, severe, very low total cases, deaths. They've had 130, just under 130 deaths total. And out of 9,500 cases. So 120 divided by 95, 20 equals a fatality rate of 0.01%. I mean, you might as well be, it's bullshit, man. I need to compare that, of course, wouldn't I? I'll just grab one more before we get off of this tirade here. Let's take, what's an inland, Tokyo. That's a great one, a right metropolitan area. Wow, they've only had 1,800. Oh, wait, no, there we go. 121,000 total in Tokyo, which is amazing considering how big that place is. And 1,800 total. 121,000. Whoops, I did that in reverse. It's not 67%.
0.0148.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And if you compare that to like New York or something, like.
And what was the Okinawa?
0.01. 1.2, and that's 1.4. So
yeah,
slightly higher.
Who knows? Maybe if we did this on all of them, because New York also has an infection rate of like millions.
Oh, I have those numbers here. I haven't looked at it in forever because it's just such a doomsayer.
The worldometer?
No, it's Johns Hopkins University Corona COVID map. It's kind of cool. I was really obsessed with it at the start because it wasn't making sense. And at least you can, and I love that it has like scalable graphs that you can use by region, change them, compare. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Total test. Yeah. Good news about the vaccines, though. I mean, the quicker we get out of this shit show, the better. Like, fuck's sake, man.
But I was also thinking something that they should be communicating to everybody is like, this is a 6-month to 9-month thing where we all have to do it over again. We're all going to have to, organize again and go get the vaccine. And we shouldn't miss out on the second one. Like, don't skip the second, because we got to kind of close the door on this vaccine.
Wait for the fifth wave.
Yeah.
We're in the 7th wave, and the 8th wave, and the 9th wave.
But that's what's going to happen. Like, if nobody follows this and, like, they're like, okay, yeah, it's done. It's kind of like almost similar to at the beginning. We're like, all right, we tried, but now we failed, and now it's just spreading everywhere. Like, everybody's kind of got to go in it together. We need some sort of herd immunity.
Oh, I agree. But herd immunity can be achieved in several ways, can't it?
Yeah. I mean, everybody gets it by getting sick, or everybody gets it by getting a shot.
Or not even getting sick, just being in contact with the virus, right?
Well, yeah. 50. Sick as in contracting.
Yeah. Even their death rate in New York can't be 45 million. That fucking, wow.
45 million dead?
No. Just I was like, the number of total cases in New York, I was like, wow, there's a lot of people in New York. It's New York State, right? The U.S. test results.
State of mind.
45. Having trouble with my calculator. 45 million. Wait, no, I did it backwards again. 50,000 divided by 45
million.
That's a case.
0.001.
Yeah, that's nothing.
It's even less.
Why are we worried? This is one of the other things too. I'm like, it's not a conspiracy or anything. I'm not saying that. It just, the hysteria, it just doesn't match what's actually happening. I don't understand why we've cratered the economy for this. And again, I guess we're getting a little off track here. Like, yeah, everybody's being super brave by staying home. But it would take a little bit more bravery too? Like, maybe putting this into context, like I'm talking about. Having a health official get out there and say, stop eating this stuff. And moreover, we'll take steps as a government to stop subsidizing or paying for companies to provide these types of food for you. I wonder what would happen in a market that was truly free from things like, corn subsidies in the US. I wonder what that would look like. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like people are going to go like, well, shit, I can't grow corn anymore. Like, what am I going to do? I guess I might as well pack it up. Like, I'm just going to go to the welfare, go on the welfare. Like, that's not how it works. I don't understand why. It's not like our baseline is correct to begin with, but whatever. So, I mean, yeah, spent a lot of time on this. I was just in need of a tirade, I suppose.
Yeah, I didn't have much on this particular topic anyways.
Yeah, well, it is, people do this all the time, right? They say, like, why don't you just go and do that when you're not there? But I think it's really important, if it's a message we could send out here, it's like, stop acting like you know what other people's lives are like, Don't do that. I'll try and hold myself accountable too. It's not like I don't do that. But like, just stop telling people what exactly, I think there's a difference, because I'm saying, like, just get out and exercise. Yeah, I guess that can sound the same as, like, the moral here. It's easy to be brave when there's no danger, right? I don't have kids, so I can do a lot of this stuff. But like, I think there's a difference between that and knowing that that's something that you can do, whatever it is that you're doing. Like, find 5 minutes here or there. It doesn't need to be insane exercise or whatever. That's going to help you, as opposed to like trying to like shame people for just living their lives when you don't know what it's like at all. And that's my whole beef with the whole coronavirus thing. Watching an obese
Tomato
premier
face.
tell me what health is, and like what I'm supposed to do, and threaten people when we're just trying to find a way to be normal again. It's not like Easter is going to be an explosion of coronavirus. And we're like, the numbers, let's all just take a moment, deep breath, relax. We're almost at the end of this. And like, I don't think that taking a moment to be happy with your family is going to like tip the scales in favor of coronavirus. It's not going to happen. And that's what I hate, is this whole like fear mongering about everything. You don't know what it's like. Maybe some people haven't seen their families in that long, and this was the opportunity. This is the time you can finally feel like we're getting back to something. Yeah.
Yep.
What's
in
it like?
Year
And like
a year and a half. Yeah.
Good Lord.
For me, anyways.
What's
See
it
in
like?
mine?
What's it like over there with restrictions?
There are none.
That's amazing. Yeah, and that's the other thing I don't understand. It's like there are places that don't have restrictions that are doing really well.
The only restriction, I guess you could say, is that you have to wear a mask on the subway, and then at work I got to do like temperature check when you walk in.
Mm-hmm.
We actually walk. Well, I don't know if it's always wet, but we're supposed to have like some sort of bleach mat. So you like step on a bleach mat to kill it on your feet. And temperature checks at work. And that's basically all the restrictions. Like you could go out and go to a club and nobody has a mask on, and it's packed full of people.
How sensible. How sensible.
Yeah. But also there's no cases, so that's the other thing.
Yeah. Well, is it chicken or the egg, right? I don't know.
I think, just being in the side of the world where things were, popping off at the very beginning, I think there was more of a fear of the unknown before it got to the West, or at least like North America.
Yeah.
In some regards.
Well, it still makes fucking no sense at all. But thank God vaccinations are beginning. I'll do it just for your knowledge, audience. I'm not saying don't get a vaccine. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. Ugh.
Just don't get the AstraZeneca.
I didn't say that either. My parents are getting vaccinated as we speak. But I'm just saying, like, take some fucking responsibility for yourselves. Like,
well, they did restrict it for people under 60 in Canada.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so far. Yeah. Oh, awful. Right. Well, but 2 thumbs up here. It's easy to be brave when there is no danger. Stop talking tough, Doug Ford, and put your money where your mouth is, man. Like, do something to make yourself healthy. Yeah. Yeah. Do something to make yourself healthy. Be a role model for human beings, and don't threaten us by saying you're going to take Christmas away. Like, that's basically what it is. It's like, well, turn this car around if you children, like, come on, man. That's not what this is about. Like, God damn it.
For any of our non-Canadian listeners, I think there's one in Texas, maybe somebody in Saudi Arabia or with a VPN. I don't know. Doug Ford's brother was also an unhealthy guy that you may have known.
Yeah. He was the crack smoker.
Yeah. Who became famous in the States because of that?
What, because of crack smoking?
Yeah, he was referenced a few times. Like, I think even like on Joe Rogan in different places.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so that was his brother, who is now running the province, Canada's largest, most populous, and most wealthy province. Hip hooray. Awesome. Well, Churchill did say the best argument against democracy is a 5-minute conversation with the voter, and this is what we get. But I'm not anti-democracy either, people. Listen to previous podcasts. Anyways, 2 thumbs up. It is easy to be brave when there is no danger. So take some goddamn responsibility. Put some skin in the game, people. Man, don't tell me what to do if you don't live my life. Rah. Agree.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah, that does sound like a pig. All right. Hey, on a closing note, you know what's weird? How different languages make different sounds for the same animal. Right?
Mung mung. That's a dog in Korean.
Mung mung. Yeah. Woof woof mung mung. That doesn't make any sense. They're not the same. I find the English ones are the worst, to be fair. I think they're the least accurate.
Yeah. Now, if you asked a Korean to make a dog sound, I mean an actual one, not like gree, but like as a pig.
Yeah.
Would they do that, or would they still go mung mung?
Mung mung. I don't know. What's the filter through which that thinking goes? That's a good question. Well, anyways, a conversation for another time. Be brave, people. Skin in the game. Skin in the game before you start talking.
Yeah. All right. Well, catch you later.
Catch you later. Peace.
Bye.